autism is that he has sensory issues, you know. So basically, if I take him to a birthday party, he'd be off by himself, licking a window. That's pretty much how it goes. But, you know, I deal with it. I give him hard pressure squeezes. And I just keep doing that, hard pressure squeezes, until my arms get tired. And I don't want to spill my beer. I typically just sit on him, you know. But he likes sharks, so we talk about sharks a lot. And I just make sure I position my ass to where I can feel his breath. And we can still talk about sharks. I know he's breathing, you know, so that's the good thing. He wrote a poem to me for Mother's Day, and it's up on the wall at his school. And I don't think they're ever going to take it down, ever, because it basically says, it was for Mother's Day, did I say that? Yeah, it says, I like my mommy. My mommy is sweet, my mommy is kind. I like to talk about sharks with my mommy while she drinks her wine. Yeah. And I never have to fear or be full of dread, because my mommy makes me feel safe when she sits on my head. And that was the end. That was the end. That was 5 years ago. I don't think it's ever coming down, do you? I don't think so. Well, I'm not a teacher. You guys are teachers, sounds like, yeah.
What?
Oh, you're a teacher. Okay. Someone is a teacher. And you, yes. I'm a substitute teacher. Don't brag or anything, yeah. My self-esteem is doing really great. Every time I sit at a desk and the door opens, I hear the same thing every day. It's a sub. Let's kill her. Same thing every day. It's all about how do I manipulate these people, right? The little ones are easier to manipulate. I'm like, hey, calm down, I'll tell you something gross. And it's just, you know, turtles breathe through their butts, or sharks pee through their skin. And like, they love it. The older kids, it's harder to manipulate. I'm like, hey, don't kill me, settle down, and I'll tell you about the time I did amateur porn. They don't fall for it, they just don't get it, you know, they don't understand the word amateur. But anyway, I'm an 80s kid. I was a kid in the 80s, yeah. We rode our bikes. We're out in the sunshine. No one had to tell us to get outside and ride. You guys are young. You played outside though? In the 80s, you weren't born yet. You were? Okay. I like you then. Yeah. You know, we rode our bikes, and we weren't attached to our phone all the time. A phone was a phone. It was attached to the wall. Yeah. You know? I had a rotary phone. Yes. I had a rotary phone, yeah. Rotary phone, anyone doesn't know, it's like manual labor. Like each digit, like, you have to wait till it spins back. Spin back. 8 minutes to call a friend, right? 8 minutes, which is the appropriate time for an axe murderer to just kill the entire family. Oh no, someone's breaking in. Let me try to do this Wheel of Fortune spinning thing. Okay, can I buy a vowel? Emergency, we're all dead. Forget about it. Selfies, you know, we didn't take selfies in the 80s. No, we didn't. If we wanted to take a pretty picture of ourselves, we had to go to our local mall and get a glamour shot. Yes, we did. I have one. You look too young for this. You have a glamour shot?
I never personally went.
I almost liked you for a second.
There was many taken.
There was many taken. I have one. Glamour shots? Anyone? No. Yes! I knew I liked him. Glamour shots. That's when it was supposed to be high fashion, but it was the 80s. The 80s was ridiculous. So the high fashion glamour shot was just super ridiculous. Like, oh, you like your hair Dolly Parton big? Let's go for Marge Simpson. Oh, feathers are nice. Let's just, glue a flamingo's ass to your chest. Let's do that. I wanted cleavage. I just see a flamingo's butt crack. Oh, well, I like it. There was like nudie pics going around in my house, in the 80s. My dad would leave his Playboy magazines under the bed. And that's a place for dads to just put their Playboys just under the bed. And here I am trying to keep my sons from watching anything on the internet, but I don't really know how to work the internet. I have to ask my son to help me work the internet. I'm like, hey son, I heard, YouTube Kids has Mickey Mouse beaten off on it. Can you give me any tips on how to prevent you from being ruined for Disneyland for the rest of your life? No? Okay, there's always Knott's Berry Farm, I guess. Hopefully Snoopy's not beaten off. But my dad kept his Playboy magazines under his bed. And do you know how to keep your room spotless with no dust bunnies under your bed? put Mrs. March with her overgrown 1982 Bush. A picture of that. And like every latchkey kid from a 5-mile radius was gonna want to play hide and seek. They're gonna hide under there. No dust bunnies at all. Very clean. Latchkey kid. Were you a latchkey kid?
I was.
Yeah, we all were. I mean, this is the thing. It's a little bit of a misnomer because I didn't wear my house key around my neck. My parents left it for me on the front porch under a rock with the word key painted on top of the rock. What could go wrong? Nothing, really, nothing. I'm from Glendora. Have you heard of it? I live there now. I've lived there my whole life. I don't get out much. Glendora, not to be confused with Glendale. Glendale has Armenians and Americana. Glendora has a bunch of white people. Just a bunch of white people. They're poor white people. And you have rich white people. You know. The rich white people don't like us poor white people because the rich white people have fancy houses and they live like where peacocks are and shit. And then like us poor white people are over the trailer park and the coyotes and they don't live. But you know what? We all get along. We can all mix it up when we go to nearby Raging Waters. We have a lot of fun there. Raging Waters, where the 210 meets the 10 near a meth lab in San Dimas. Yes. Do you know what you get when you mix poor white people and rich white people and methamphetamine? Vince Neil. You get Vince Neil. Did you know he grew up in Raging Waters? He did. He grew up in did I say Raging Waters? That was weird. He grew up in Glendora. He grew up with me in Glendora. Yeah, so people were like, hey, that's the guy who sings Dr. Feelgood. Like, hey, that's the guy who made my crotch burn. Really bad. Not him specifically. It was just back then, you know, we were very dangerous and unprotected when we were doing water slides. This is the water slides. They would, you know, 5-gallon worth of water giving you a violent colonic down that dropout, and your crotch would burn too. Okay? Raging Waters. The place that makes your crotch burn. Almost as bad as Vince Neil's penis. What? Would I say that for? It looks like lady. No, that's Aerosmith. You already know.
That's how we bring about him.
About Vince Neil. They all look like ladies. They all look like they had glamour shots.
Fair.
It was glam rock. Glam rock. Going on vacation is hard when you have kids. Like I said, I have 3 sons. I have a son with ADHD. We went somewhere recently, and like he starts scaling a cliff or some ridiculousness. And I just want to go on an airplane, okay? Because it's so exhausting vacationing with kids. You're going to need a vacation from your vacation. In other words, go to work. Go to work. Boring office job, answering phones, kind of nice, kind of like heaven. I just want to go on an airplane because they can't go anywhere. Okay, they can't like tear anything up. My ADHD kid could probably manage getting out on a wing and like busting out wires like some Twilight Zone episode. But other than that, I just want to sit because I can't go anywhere. But I get these dirty looks, you know, because my 3 boys are like trying behind me, and I don't care, you know, because I'm on an airplane that can't go anywhere. And I know it's annoying when a kid is like kicking your seat. So what I mean is that I'm too high on Xanax to care too much. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think that I will just, I don't know, I took this off now when I'm ending. That was a weird choice. But one time I wanted a woman to help me parent boys. I was very overwhelmed, and she was just a really nice lady that I met, like this weird moms group that I was in. Felt a little bit like a cult, but she was nice. But she had like this bob and nail. I never had nails. She had nails, and she used words like pejorative, and I still have to look that up. But I was like, you know, you have 3 boys, I have 3 boys. Can I just like have you mentor me a little bit? And I felt a little shy to even ask that. And she was like, you know what? Not only am I going to mentor you, but I'm going to embrace you as part of my family of small-based business owners. And all you have to do is get 5 people and make it. You know what? Anyone needs oils of any kind. You're a woman. Thank you. All right, keep it going for Colleen.